That's right, folks. It's another late night and time for another reach into the Just Giggle It Grab Bag. And tonight we're pulling out Cat Lover.
Meow.
You said it. That's right, folks. We're talking Cat Lover. It's been one that's been in the pipeline for a long time. And of course, this season, being in control of the fans, has been requested specifically by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joshua Thomas. Therefore, we are talking about it finally.
Yeah, folks, this is something that we've been wanting to do since season 1 of the Grab Bag, but we just couldn't find a scheduling time to do a long sketch like this. And it's only 8 minutes, but here's the thing: we at the Grab Bag, we like to really dissect and get into the nitty gritty of this. Like, ironically enough, Dragon, I feel like we focus more time per minute of content on the Grab Bag stuff than we do on Better Call Saul, and that's a feat.
Yeah, we do like to go in depth with Saul, so yeah, that's a point. Yeah, Cat Lover was, of course, written, directed, and edited by the great and powerful Jason Ramlow.
Woo!
Jason Ramlow, of course, he's DP extraordinaire, director of photography extraordinaire on all the, essentially almost all, if not every, Just Giggle It sketch. At least in the early ones, you'll see his name all over the place as the DP. But he had directed one that we had covered already. He directed World Marriage Fighting Championship. That was him.
You know what's really interesting about that is I feel like this episode has a very, very similar, like, high ambition, high concept. I could totally see that stylistic integrity right there.
I wonder if Ramlow is one of those directors who kind of like to have like the people that he had worked with before in his sketches. Because in that sketch too, we had one of my favorites. We had Jesse McBride. I really like that actor they have here, and they brought him back because he was in Marriage. He was the kind of the husband figure in that. Now we have him as the kind of the boyfriend figure in this.
And of course, we also have the great Alex
Poncio
in the most intimidating performance Alex Poncio has ever given, which I can't wait to break down.
Yeah, so it's and also it's the 60th of the Just Giggle It sketches, by the way, like number 60. So
okay.
Okay, I think we're all.
Yeah, and Dragon, as you said, this is like a highly requested one, so I'm really anxious to get into this.
Yeah,
it's been a long time coming.
But before we dive right on in, real quick, let's tell the folks what else they should be watching.
Well, golly gee, golly whiz, folks, you should be watching Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World. Now, anyone who's watching the show live probably knows what Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World is. So just regale us for a minute here while we talk to the would-be fans who are stumbling onto this for the first time. Dragon, tell them about the show.
Folks, if you're not watching it now, what's wrong with you? Do something about this grave error in your life and watch Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World. Now, it's basically a show where we take Joker and Harley Quinn, better represented they've been in a long while. You take them basically
definitely better represented than in Suicide Squad.
Sure. Like, you're not going to have like a half of a Joker performance. You're going to have like a full range of Joker, a very original Joker. Honestly, folks, as I've been saying, this is the Joker that we need right now. Nothing against Joaquin Phoenix. We'll see what he does. But he was, again, that's whole like an origin thing on the Joker. I'm saying you want just full, I just want a regular Joker, man. Look no further. Harley Quinn, the Joker versus the Real World. It takes the characters as you know them like the back of your hand, and it places them in a new environment. Kind of gets you some new story possibilities. They've moved to LA. They moved from Gotham to LA. They got a roommate. They got all the mundanities, all the problems that you would face with a move to a new place and kind of getting the lay of the land. But of course, you were kind of a psychotic killer clown, and and that psychotic killer clown's equally dysfunctional mate in life, Harley Quinn, and just hilarity, insanity, and thought-provoking moments ensue as you'd imagine. Again, if you watch episode 1, episode 1's going to hook you. I'm not even going to tell you what happens. Just trust me on that. And folks, you got to get to episode 5. Episode 5, for my money, it's called Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World. Episode 5, The Next Generation. That's the one we want you to watch. Because, folks, if you want more, because let's face it, you're going to watch that first episode, you're going to be so hooked on it. It's like, okay, I got to watch the rest of these. You're going to get the 5, and you're going to get the end of 5, and it ends on kind of like a vague kind of little cliffhanger, like a PS at the end of it. It's like, oh my God, I got to know what happens next. And you're going to go crazy, because it all, what they say.
Like everyone else did.
You know what they say, Tiki. All it takes is one lack of Harley Quinn the Joker versus the real Quinn to drive a man insane.
That's
And
right,
that's what's
Dragon.
going
They
to
all
happen.
say that. They definitely all say that.
You're going to be foaming at the mouth to get more episodes. You say, who do I have to find to make more happen? Well, folks, look no further. The power is in your hands. All you got to do is watch the episode a bunch of times, get those views. Just the views, folks. That's all you need to do. You just need to watch this and get that view count up to 1 million. Once it's up to 1 million, they got others in the pipeline they're working on now. They're actually working on episode 6 as we speak, and they're just waiting to get it in the can and ready for release right now, folks. And there are others on the way. I can vouch for. They got 6 and 7. There's some script pages have been leaked, and believe me, they got plans past that. There's some really cool stuff I could tease you with, but again, you got to meet me halfway here, folks. You got to watch it, buddy boy. You gotta watch it if you want to see what the Chromatic Duo is going to do next. You got to watch episode 5. 1, because it's fantastic. 2, because you want more episodes. You got to put in the work. And the work, thankfully, is enjoyable and rather simple. It's not even work at all. It's just enjoyment and fun and sending it around and telling your friends about it and saying, oh my God, you know what? Gotham's doing some neat stuff with kind of their proto-Joker, but you know what? I want a good, solid Joker. I want, Joker in the purple. I want something that's terrifying. It's kind of Mark Hamill in LA, essentially, if you will. I don't know. I want something. Darn
it. All right. Okay, so without further ado, Dragon, let's get right into the sketch.
All right. So right off the bat, this is like probably the most professionally made yet absurd sketch Just Giggle has made, at the very least that we've covered of the on the grab bag.
Like when it starts out, it's got the credits of an independent black and white movie, like a Woody Allen movie from.
I know, it felt so Manhattan-esque to me.
Yeah,
It felt so much like Manhattan, and I loved it. It's we basically start the story with kind of this nice romantic. I love the opening credits, by the way. It feels so old school. Like, again, it feels like a movie made in the '60s or a Woody Allen films. We have these opening credits. They're playing as like this couple in love, and it feels very casual Woody Allen conversation as you're walking down the street. Hence the Manhattan comparisons here, folks. It's I just love this this man, Emily and Michael here. They're walking down the street. Emily invites Michael up. But she says, I would invite you up. I know you have that allergy to cats. And we have this kind of adorable Woody Allenism here where he's saying, well, I'm not that allergic. So we have this little sweet walk up into the apartment. And by the way, into the really nice swanky lobby. It has like a fountain in the middle of it. Looks pretty nice, I gotta say. And of course, cat lover. So again, all of this is just kind of set up, and your expectations are like, okay, it's going to be like a comedy of errors.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, there's something about Mary type comedy.
Well, here's the thing, Dragon. Here's the thing. I waited until tonight to watch this. All right, so I had no idea what I was getting into, and my expectation was it was going to basically be about a crazy cat lady, right? Like the date herself would be the source of the comedy, and not the cat. And man, oh man, Just Giggle It. This is like one of the big ways in which this series continues to subvert expectations.
So I love this. Like the minute we see we get the cat lover all right here, where we see cat lover on the screen, then they get into they walk through the door, and like the line right before she walks in the door is, "You're gonna love my cat."
He's such a lover.
Oh boy! So we enter the. By the way, just gonna give credit to our actors. We have Jesse McBride and the wonderful Katie Garland, who's on Harley Quinn the Joker versus the Real World.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's Carmella. Anyway,
and she also made an appearance in
Heightened.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dragon. That was supposed to be your cue, but anyways, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
So yes, so they walk through the door, and it's Mittens.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Or sorry, let me try that again. It's Mittens. So Mittens. So we have this as they're walking up there, and of course you're gonna love my cat. His name's Mittens, and it says, "Oh yeah, I hope you have better taste in cats than you do movies." So we reveal this trippy image. Basically, as they walk in the door, we see the cat. Now, I had a double take when I saw this. Because I had like a moment, like, did I just see what I thought I saw? I kind of had to pause, and go back and see, wait a minute. Because as I was watching the video, we revealed this really trippy image of, again, you're not crazy, folks. This is what you saw. You saw a cat, essentially, a cat-sized creation, a puppet, a cat-sized puppet, but it has Alex Poncio's face on it.
Yep. It's definitely in the uncanny valley, Dragon, for sure, and I love it.
Again, it's so hard to achieve a practical uncanny valley. Like you don't really see that sort of thing except in like special effects of horror movies. Really, it's like I'm talking like old like Psycho 2 territory. They have to create the fake wax heads to blow up and everything. Anyway, so you have the way they achieve this. By the way, we got a little taste of it at the very end. I kind of was speculating on as I was watching the way they achieve this amazingly. So they have a plush kind of cat body. I assume it's just like a body without the head for what they're going to do. The point is like a plush cat body. And they do like a forced perspective green screen where basically Poncio, very much like he was as the Beast with a Disney princess, he is made up from kind of the neck up, wearing the cat head prosthetic. And he's doing makeup and everything. And basically they green screen as he's like sitting in a chair. It's like a forced perspective. So they project that, like they lift that head and they put it on the cat body in the shots. Mm-hmm. That's how they achieve that. Again, I'm assuming forced perspective because I don't know exactly how they just hauntingly well done. And it's scary too. It's like it's not like perfectly done. It's like it's not like that in a way. It's like it's off putting in just the right way, you know. Uh-huh. So again, let me give you the breakdown here because we always like to analyze the comedy. I just want to walk you through how this could have gone here. Okay, so we have way number one. Okay, simple joke is the cat doesn't like the boyfriend, which leads to shenanigans. Again, kind of that something about Mary territory, you know. Where okay, something goes horribly wrong, you feel bad for the guy, and then we laugh it off at the end. That's essentially that's A. That's how you go. That's the A way to go. The B way to go is like the SNL sketch where that you do over the cat, you do over the top cat stuff, like you know over the top hate, like cat is. Someone hates the cat, or you know, Michael is, you know, we show the boyfriend as like a fool in the room with the cat or something. You know, we just basically he's saying, "Oh man, this cat hates me," and she's saying, "Oh no, that's silly. That cat doesn't hate you." And again, it's making the boyfriend it's like a Michigan J Frog effect, you know. Then you get the Just Giggle It route. We see here is what we do here. Basically, where the credo of Just Giggle It should be the Spinal Tap credo, where we dial it up to 11. The way they're going about this is not only we're dialing up to 11, taking it to an absurd and in a kind of a scary, serious place, like going like off the rails absurd with it. We're doing a short film and a psychological thriller. We're not even going the comedy route with it. We're going a short film psychological thriller.
I mean, to me, I feel like the only comedy in this sketch is just how absurd it is.
Mm-hmm. And the best absurdity comes from when you play it so straight and so authentic that just looking at it, just seeing what's actually being said, just cracks you up. Like, oh my god, they're playing it. It's the young Frankenstein effect of that's a Frankenstein movie, but there are hilarious lines in it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the cat's first line, he just like gets right up on Michael's knee, and he's just like, "You know, you fucked up, right?"
Well, don't forget the cat scratch. Emily has to get out of the room.
Yeah, right.
Emily gives this cutesy. Oh, you don't like when mommy goes away, do you? The cat scratches Michael as he reaches out to pet it, and then of course like scratch and says, "Mittens, don't be fresh." God. So then of course, so we have this really that haunting makeup is like pulsating and just kind of pushed in on in the black and white. Basically, this is the first close-up shot of the cat where you put it together. Like, oh my god, that's Poncio in makeup.
Yep.
So as she and of course like the boyfriend's playing off all cutesy. Here's like merely a flesh wound, my lady. You know, she's going off to get some band-aids, and she's in the bathroom right now. So we have some exit comedy here as like she's getting the band-aids and everything. You're not allergic to cotton, are you? And of course, as she's saying this, then what happens?
You know, you fucked up, right?
So Michael's obviously terrified. Jesus Christ, this is what? You're not allergic to cotton, are you? And of course, then
tell her, Michael. I want you to tell her. Tell her right now. Say the words. Your cat talks. Say it, Michael.
So then she's basically saying, like, did he get you again? And again, this is his opportunity to say your cat's talking and scaring the crap out of me. What he's saying is, just stubbed my toe. He says, attaboy. So, by the way, I could be entirely wrong here. I'm dying for Poncio or somebody or Josh Knox, someone to kind of weigh in on this. Because I tell you know what this performance reminded me of?
What?
I think he's doing D'Onofrio. I seriously think he might be doing D'Onofrio in this.
God.
Seriously, it's like
I could see it. I could see it.
I mean, this whole premise reminds me of a movie called Fear with Mark Wahlberg and William Peterson. You know, Grissom from CSI.
Uh-huh.
And basically, that whole movie, it's a really, I recommend it to you. I think you'd like it. It's kind of obscure. It's Mark Wahlberg plays this boyfriend that Reese Witherspoon, the daughter. William Peterson's daughter is Reese Witherspoon, and she falls in love with Mark Wahlberg, and everything seems all fine and dandy until we realize that, oh my God, Mark Wahlberg's a serial, but if not, he's not a serial killer, but he's just psychotic and he's abusive, and he's a psycho. And then basically William Peterson knows this, but of course he has to convince the daughter and then hide her from the. It basically turns into Mark Wahlberg. It's the scariest Mark Wahlberg performance you've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of what this is. It's kind of like there's that hidden menace in the room that the other person is unaware of. So it feels very Fear-esque. But again, if you look, it's this ridiculous cauldron of ridiculous absurdity here, where you take Alex Poncio and you take a cat. And you take a little splash of D'Onofrio, you kind of mix it in there, and you get Mittens.
You see, folks, only one of those three things is terrifying. The other two are adorable.
Yes. Okay. So,
but again, I just love the look of the cat puppet as he's just like laying on Michael's shoulder, just like eyeing him.
I love what they do with the limbs of the puppet later on. That's what cracks me up. Let's see. So she re-enters the room as he says, like, "Attaboy." And then, of course, she re-enters the room and says, "Oh, he wants to get in the position that he's in right now. Oh, he wants to apologize." And, of course, then she moves the cat and she offers some scotch. And, of course, like, he's got the boy here, Michael's got the 1,000-yard stare going on here. Like, oh, yeah, sure. Scotch tastes great, yeah.
Uh-huh. And of course, we cut to this amazing shot of the Poncio cat just staring him the hell down.
I love it, like the cat's kind of coming in from like the background with these movie scenes and everything. So Emily's blathering on about her parents in Scotland, and he's basically saying,
like the amazing bourbon collection that she has, or something like that.
I buy bourbon.
Oh God.
Yeah. So so he says, yeah, top of the morning, all that. And just again, he's very distracted right now. Of course, like she's, I'll be right back. So as she leaves yet again, here's my favorite gag right here. So his eyes are watering. Basically, Mittens comes back and he says, "Your eyes are watering, Michael. Have a Claritin." Oh, we have this fun puppetry where like the little cat paw. That's like a Claritin, like a pill, like a little candy on the other side of it. And he puts it in his mouth, and he basically he closes it. He swallows. I love he motions the jaw with a little puppet paw.
Right,
here.
Right, yeah.
It's like, swallow. And then, of course, this is my favorite bit of the cat, my favorite line of the cat in the whole thing. You do it. I'm just setting up here. It's my favorite part of the conversation here, where I love that he's just so civil here initially. Like, okay, it's not your fault. This is happening. Just go along with it and you can go about your merry way. That's essentially what the context of all of this is. And I love that. I love that they're having this very serious, scary, discussion. Anyways, it goes a little something like, what, Tiki?
All right. So here's how we're going to play this. I want you to thank her for a nice evening. Tell her you'll call her again and give her a quick hug. Then walk your shrimp dick back to your launcher. And then I want you to delete her number and forget you ever met her.
Yeah.
Do it if you want Christmas presents from mommy and daddy another year. If not, you're going to be breathing through a trachea the rest of your short life. Trachea, sorry.
I just love the way he kind of sells that last horrifying line, the whole do that and hey. I just love how he gets enthusiastic, and hey, you get to spend you get to open Christmas presents with mommy and daddy for another year. If not, you'll be breathing through a trachea for the rest of your short life. Again, the short life is what gets me.
Right.
This is the fact that, basically that's him saying, this cat saying to the boyfriend, you're saying to Michael, I'm going to slit your throat and you're going to be alive for a few seconds before you bleed out, essentially. That's what I'm going to claw your throat out. The last moments you're going to be experiencing that horrible, helpless pain, essentially is what he's saying there. So again, very Fear-esque, just like the boyfriend dealing with kind of the father figure and the cat in this case, but
Mm-hmm.
So Emily, she returns, and Mittens, of course, he calls for Emily. So right now he's kind of breaking the rules, which is not good. So of course, in mentioning this, Emily moves the cat away. Just Mittens, oh God. I'm sorry. Emily returns as Mittens. He's such a lover.
He's such a lover.
And if he does it again, just swat him off. which is going to come back. It's a little plot detail.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to come back. So the horror begins to set in as Michael kind of looks to the side here and he sees these photos of her very close relationship with Mittens here. We see like them at birthday parties and just kind of hanging out, looking at each other intensely in the eyes and everything. And of course, importantly, we have a big bowl of setup here with a Big Mama's old fashioned catnip.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And Tiki, never underestimate the power of Big Mama's old fashioned catnip. I mean, it's something that I imagine you could buy at Anubis Food Markets.
Oh,
Food's so good, you can eat it. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Good for you, Dragon. Anyways. All right. So let's see. So Emily and Michael are having a conversation about, where they're expecting the evening to go. She's sensing that he's being a little bit distant. And basically we get that great gag like, oh, if anyone's afraid to be intimate, it's not Mr. Mittens. He's a lover.
Okay, well, two things real quick. Okay, one, I love how he's so observationally afraid in this scene here, where basically he's, she's saying, he just very blatantly says without giving, again, he's trying to honor the cat's wishes initially here, where he's saying,
right.
I don't think your cat's ready for you to be intimate with anyone. It's just a very observational bit of fear here of like, yeah, you got a problem here. I might want to deal with that. And then again, this is my favorite delivery by Katie Garland, the whole thing. Don't know, she has another great line coming up towards the end here, but I love this. She has that cutesy little lisp that she puts in this in here, where it's like, she adorably says, no, it's not Mr. Mittens. He's a lover. If anyone has, intimacy issues, it's not Mr. Mittens. He's a lover. Anyway, sorry, scratch it. So anyway, so she thinks Michael's just nervous. Says, look, Michael, I have no expectations about what's going to happen tonight. I just want to have fun. So, of course, this is where we see Mr. Mittens creeping in the background right now. He's just kind of easing into the he's fuzzy in the wide shot, essentially. And so he's in the back. And by the way, a little fun fact. I love that if you look closely, you can see like the claw marks when the cat was threatening him. Like basically the image that we had before us here, like that. He actually has like little bloody claw marks on his neck, little scratch marks on his neck in every scene after this.
Mm-hmm.
Detail. So anyway, so she says,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
She goes to slip into something a little more comfortable, leaving Michael alone.
And then we get like probably the most laugh out loud line at the of the whole episode. I must have a sixth sense because I see dead people.
I love the boisterous. He's so excited to say that. I'm gonna bleed you like a stuck pig.
Oh my god, dude! It's so violent. It really is.
So then he flings the cat, and luckily he flings him into the catnip, which incapacitates Mr. Mittens because
I'm genetically predisposed to loving catnip.
I love like in monster movies and horror movies, whenever like you fight off the monster, it has like the scars from like when you've done it the first time. Those like kind of follow him throughout the movie. You do that with the catnip because now the catnip's in the fur in every scene. It's the end. So then we have this very so basically he's locked himself into the bedroom, going to help her get comfy and everything. So it's this very intimate and fearful bedroom scene. So his eyes are like wide open, focused on the door, like, oh god, I'm in so much danger right now. What am I going to let on? And somehow, basically, as she's like, hey, I feel like why are your eyes open? Of course, he's trying to close his eyes, and then the door opens, and we see it's like Jaws, like the cat's around, but we don't see it. So he's entered the room, and then again, very logically, and I just love that Jesse McBride. I just love his delivery and all this here. Basically, he calmly explains that, look, Emily, I'm so into this right now, but your cat, but it's just your cat. And then, of course, she cuts him off. You can tell me the truth. This is a pity hookup, isn't it? He says, no, Emily, you're amazing. I love everything that's going on here, but it's just your cat has threatened my life. He threatened to cut me like a pig if I sleep over. It's so insane, Tiki, just saying that. So then, and of course, we have like I love these bylaws, and I love how this is like a thing in the universe of this short, by the way. The bylaws of what cats can't do. It's like Michael, cats can't talk, Michael.
And then Cats can't stab. It escalates too.
As he gets stabbed right in the foot. He kicks the cat. Did you just kick my cat? He stabbed me in the foot. Cats can't stab,
Michael.
That's the. And of course, Mittens pops up. Mittens, and of course, as she does that, then Mittens gets into kind of very. This is the most D'Onofrio of everything, by the way.
Oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah.
This is. Tell me this didn't remind me a little bit.
Don't Mittens me.
Basically, the cat's calling her out here. Says, basically he was there for her and all the. I was there for you on all those lonely nights, sharing a bed with you when no one else would have you. Unconditional, what do I get for all my unconditional love and loyalty? You bring a man home. Make me watch. Because I'm just a harmless little cat. I'll show you how harmless I am.
Oh my god.
Of course, this leads to Michael pulling the knife out of his foot, and he's defending her. It's a really small knife, by the way, folks. It's a sharp knife, but a small one, all the same. Like an apple, like one of those knives like you peel apples or fruit with. So again, we have the ridiculous wide shot. Again, folks, this is the charm of Just Giggle. We keep cranking up the absurdity by 11. We've broken the knob off at this juncture, by the way. Well, no, to be fair, we break the knob off at the end. We've dialed it to 11. We're like, inching it away. It's like you hear the springs coming off of it. Where it's like, oh my god, we have the wide shot of like this little plush cat. And a man defending the woman who's about to be attacked with a little tiny knife. What's Mittens' line? What are you gonna do with that knife?
I'm sorry, Dragon. I don't have all the lines on me. Sorry.
Well, let's just say it's an offensive one to say the least, but it's a funny one. The shave a little something. Anyway, so let's see. So basically, Mittens jumps at him with the knife. Mittens lunges at him. I have no idea what his plan is because he's kind of jumping towards the knife. But the point is, we kind of cut away, so we don't know exactly what happened. Then very kind of monster movie or slasher movie-esque. Like, okay, we've defeated the monster. Yay for us! And then, well, the aftermath is Michael and Emily, they're outside, like they're all like post like a horrific event. We have Joshua Thomas appearing as a detective in the aftermath, kind of following up. And we just need to follow up on a few things in your story. Well, you have a few holes in your story, like what? Well, for one, cats can't talk. Another thing, they can't stab. He's stabbed in the back, and we reveal again, very monster movie, slasher movie style. Mittens is back. Mittens, stop it! Again, the most helpless delivery by Katie.
Right.
Then we have, of course, the big kind of very "here's Johnny" line is, "Here, kitty." Well, then, as Mittens is about to attack, we just see this little cat shot multiple times.
God.
By some life-saving gunshots. And folks, this is the part where we rip the knob off, by the way, on the dial.
Oh, yeah, this is the part where it's like everything just like completely just goes off the hinges.
We reveal a canine cop.
Oh, God.
Basically, like a human-sized man with dog prosthetics on it. It's a dog face. I don't mean he's ugly. I just mean he's the face of a literal dog here, folks. Follow me on this. And he says, "It's okay. I'm a cop."
Oh, man.
So this is the
punchline.
This is the payoff of the make or break move. Like, if you don't buy into the cat at the start here, the prosthetics on like a human performance as a cat, then you're not going to buy into this part. So that's the make or break element. This is the payoff of said make or break element. I feel it pays off. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it does too. I don't want to get too much into final thoughts yet, but I think it's a good punchline, Dragon. I really do. I think the whole skit is kind of like building towards the ripcord moment, if you will.
So in the of course in the little subscribe tag, a little kind of like telling people to subscribe tag, we have the behind the scenes footage of Poncio and Ross D. Copland. By the way, it's Copeland or Copland? It's hilarious. It was Copland. Anyway, so Rusty Copeland here, they're both singing "Memories," like the scariest song you could sing while made up like a giant cat guy and a dog. Singing "Memories." Don't people subscribe? And that's where it ends.
All right. So yeah, folks, this has been a long time coming. I hope our recap has been satisfying for you. We'll end things off with some final thoughts. Dragon, I don't know about you, but I for one think that I think this tops Marriage Fighting Championships. I think this is this might be the #1 Just Giggle It sketch for me, because it's played so straight and yet it subverts every expectation every turn, and it's hilarious just because of how straight it plays it.
Yeah, I'd agree with it. I feel it's the best. Here's the thing. I might like Marriage Fighting a smidge more just because it has like that whole psychological level to you don't know like how much of it's in their mind like shaping these events or not, like how much of it's like an artistic expression what they're going through. I mean that I think you get a little bit more out of, but this series I will say this Cat Lover is the best shot, best you execute, all of that. It's just it's so it's I think it's the best production wise. Might be the best they've done. I think before we had something like again the best parody they had easily was Space Jam.
Oh,
But I mean, this one really takes the cake. This is just again, they made it. I feel they made a short film where it kind of. This is like one of those times where Just Giggle does sketch that kind of transcends the sketch and it becomes a short film.
I'm glad you mentioned
And I think
this,
that's
Dragon, because I almost felt inappropriate listing this as a sketch in the video description.
that's the thing because I think technically it is a sketch, but it definitely feels like it's executed like a short. You know, it's like it's a funny short, I guess, like a comedy short, more accurately.
All right.
So again, just lastly, just Jason Ramlo again. I feel Jason Ramlo was like the secret canon, like the big guns at work. Whenever Jason Ramlo is like in the director's chair, you know, it's such a rarity of like, oh boy, Jason Ramlo's in the saddle here, folks, buckle up.
Right.
He's about to fire off. Like, hit the dirt, he's gonna fire. And of course, look at the aftermath here. It's so wonderful, it's so well executed. It's big, it's ambitious and ridiculous, yet so grounded though. Again, it's going big for big's sake, but in the best of ways. You know, it's like they grounded it in a reality where okay, you're invested in what's going on here, and importantly, you're buying into the menace of this ridiculous thing that you should be laughing at for the wrong reasons, but you're not. You're laughing at for the absurd reasons. Again, McBride, I thought did an excellent job in Poncio. This, to me, I'm going to say is I think this might be Poncio's finest performance, at least so far.
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
Again, it's Poncio kind of as D'Onofrio, if not like as a D'Onofrio.
Definitely Poncio's most menacing performance.
That's the thing. I'm not just putting up there because it kind of again on a rewatch it struck me that he was doing D'Onofrio. I'm just saying the first watch was like, oh my god, he's doing such a fantastic performance here, folks. I'm just saying I think it's the only way I can equate. I don't know if what exactly he's pulling from here. It just felt very D'Onofrio-esque to me, but seriously, it's one of his finest performances. It just again, this is like one of the best produced Just Giggle It videos. It looks amazing. It does not disappoint whatsoever. It's phenomenal. Just can't say enough nice things about it.
All right, so Dragon, I believe we only have one more request, right?
Yes. I mean, we'll know for certain by the time we do that next time. And of course, if we get any in the meantime, then we'll add that to the pyre. But I mean, yes, we have one left.
Okay, so next week, unless we get another fan request for something, it will be, by all intents and purposes, the season 3 finale of the Grab Bag.
Yep.
So, yeah, go ahead, Dragon.
All right, so of course, folks, don't forget to leave that in the comments or the community page and Just Giggle It. We'll look at it. We'll add it to the stack. If not, we're gonna go out big on the next one. Just for the season, of course, we'll be back with some other stuff. We just got to figure out like how exactly to select the next stuff. But you know, we'll figure that out as we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Meantime, that does it for the grab bag tonight. Until the next reach into the Just Giggle Grab Bag.
Oh, Mittens, he's such a lover.